The third meaning of the root, Budh, intelligence, is to know, to understand. Buddha knows that which is, he understands that which is, and in that very understanding he is free from all bondage. Budh means to know in the sense of understanding, not in the sense of knowledgeability. Buddha is not knowledgeable. An intelligent person does not care much about information and knowledge. An intelligent person cares much more for the capacity to know. His authentic interest is in knowing, not in knowledge. Knowing gives you understanding. Knowledge only gives you a feeling of understanding without giving you real understanding. Knowledge is a false coin, it is deceptive. It only gives you the feeling that you know, yet you don't know at all. You can accumulate knowledge as much as you want. You can go on hoarding, you can become exactly knowledgeable. You can write books, you can have degrees, you can have feeds and lids. And still you remain the same ignorant, stupid person you have always been. Those degrees don't change you, they can't change you. In fact, your stupidity becomes stronger. It has degrees now. It can prove itself through the certificates. It cannot prove anything in any other way. But it will carry degrees, certificates, recognitions from society. People think you know, and you also think you know. Have you not seen this? The people who are thought to be very knowledgeable are as ignorant as anybody, sometimes more ignorant. It is rare to find intelligent people in the academic world, very rare. I have been in the academic world, and I say it through my own experience. I have seen intelligent farmers, but I have not seen intelligent professors. Why? What has gone wrong with these people? One thing has gone wrong: they can depend on knowledge. They need not become knowers, they can depend on knowledge. They have found a second-hand way. The first-hand needs courage. The first-hand, knowing, only a few people can afford. The adventurers, people who go beyond the ordinary path, where crowds move, people who take small footpaths into the jungle of the unknowable. The danger is that they may get lost. The risk is high. When you can get second-hand knowledge, why bother? You can just sit in your chair. You can go to the library or to the university, you can collect information. You can make a big pile of information and sit on top of it. Through knowledge your memory becomes bigger and bigger. But your intelligence does not become bigger. Sometimes it happens when you don't know much, when you are not knowledgeable, that you will have to be intelligent. I have heard. A woman bought a tin of fruit, but she could not open the tin. She did not know how to open it. So she rushed to her study to look in a cookbook. By the time she looked in the book and found the page in reference, and came rushing back, ready to open the tin, the servant had already opened it. She asked, "But how did you do it?" The servant said, "Madam, when you can't read, you have to use your mind." Yes, that's how it happens. That's why illiterate farmers, gardeners, woodcutters are more intelligent. Have a kind of freshness around them. They can't read, so they have to use their minds. One has to live, and one has to use one's mind. The third meaning of Budh is to know, in the sense of understanding. The Buddha has seen that which is. He understands that which is, and in that very understanding, he is free from all bondage. What does it mean? If you want to get rid of fear, you will have to understand fear. But if you want to avoid the fact that fear is there, that the fear of death is there, if you are afraid inside, you will have to create something strong around you like a hard shell, so nobody comes to know that you are afraid. And that is not the only point. You will not know that you are afraid because of that hard shell. It will protect you from others. And it will protect you from your own understanding. An intelligent person does not escape from any fact. If it is fear, he will go into it, because the way out is through. If he feels fear and trembling arising in him, he will leave everything else aside. First, this fear has to be gone through. He will go into it, he will try to understand. He will not try to figure out how not to be afraid, he will not ask that question. He will simply ask one question. What is this fear? It is there. It is part of me. It is my reality. I have to go into it, I have to understand it. If I don't understand it, then a part of me will always remain unknown to me. And how am I going to know who I am if I go on avoiding parts of myself? I will not understand fear, I will not understand death. I will not understand anger, I will not understand my hatred. I will not understand my jealousy, I will not understand this and that. Then how are you going to know yourself? All these things are you. This is your being. You have to go into everything that is there, every nook and corner. You have to explore fear. Even if you are trembling, it is nothing to be worried about. Tremble, but go in. It is far better to tremble than to escape, because once you escape, that part will remain unknown to you. And you will become more and more afraid to look at it, because that fear will go on accumulating. It will become bigger and bigger if you don't go into it right now, this moment. Tomorrow, it will have lived 24 hours more. Beware. It will have frown more roots in you. It will have bigger foliage. It will have become stronger, and then it will be more difficult to tackle. It is better to go right now. It is already late. Go into it and see it. And seeing means without prejudice. Seeing means that you don't condemn fear as bad from the very beginning. Who knows? It is not bad who knows that it is. The explorer has to remain open to all the possibilities. He cannot afford a closed mind. A closed mind and exploration don't go together. He will go into it. If it brings suffering and pain, he will suffer the pain, but he will go into it. Trembling, hesitant, but he will go into it. It is my territory. I have to know that it's it. Maybe it is carrying some treasure for me. Maybe the fear is only there to protect the treasure. That's my experience, that's my understanding. If you go deep into your fear, you will find love. That's why it happens that when you are in love, fear disappears. And when you are afraid, you cannot be in love. What does this mean? A simple arithmetic: fear and love don't exist together. That means it must be the same energy that becomes fear. Then there is nothing left to become love. It becomes love, then there is nothing left to become fear. Go into each negative thing, and you will find the positive. And knowing the negative, and the positive, the third. The ultimate happens, the transcendental. That is the meaning of understanding, Budh, intelligence.